Well, hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineonmypocket.com and Happy New Year. I'm excited to share a video with some of my favorite stencils from Missing Stamps and some foil. I've gotten some questions recently about foiling through stencils, and so today I have already used my Transfer Gel Duo through these stencils, so they are dry already. I did this ahead of time just so I could demonstrate in this video how to do some foiling through a stencil. So you use your Deco Foil Duo gel, and this gel is really great because you can use it with or without heat. I like using it with heat, so I have my mini Mink machine here. You can also use a laminator, but you also don't need a heat source with the Duo gel. You can put the foil on and run it through your die cut machine to get it sticking on there. I find that I like the results a little better when I use the heat though. So I've cut down some foil already, and I'm going to be running this through my die cut machine. Now this one is white foil, and people have been asking me, what in the world do you use white foil for? So I'm going to show you a couple of ideas with white foil. Now this foil is toner foil. It's what you use with toner or this Deco Foil gel. So this is not the foil you use with hot foiling. It's the toner foil. Look at that beautiful result I got with that rainbow foil. And now I'm taking some toner paper. This is paper that's just been printed with some toner. So you can do this in your printer if you have a laser printer, or you can have it printed off on a copier. And then I just peel off that extra protective layer on the top to reveal my toner once again. This gives us the opportunity to do a little double foiling and take that white foil and foil over the black areas. So we're going to have a really fun look on this one. It's going to be rainbow with some white. So this is a little double foiling technique here. I'll put it in my transfer carrier sheet, which I'm using some parchment paper this time. And then I'll peel that off, and you'll see that all the places that were black are now white. Now, if you have some issues with getting a really good foil result, you can put an extra cardstock shim in there to give it more pressure, or you can run it through a second time. I had a pretty good result on these, but I did run that last one through twice. Okay, now with the white foil that we did on the white background, I'm going to take some ink and ink that background up. Now this is really fun to do because the ink is not going to stick to the foil, and you'll see that at the end as I remove the excess ink. The foil stays white, and it's a really fun look. Now you can also do white foiling, of course, on some darker cardstock or colored cardstock and get a fun look, or even on black. So those are some other ideas for white foil, but look at the fun result you get when you add different colors of ink to your background. And as I finish this up, you'll see I'm going to take a little towel here and wipe away the excess. Now this is a dry towel, and I decided to add a little bit darker ink with some Distress Oxide ink. And now I'm going to get my towel just a little bit damp. So you'll see that here. So I wiped that off with a dry cloth first. Now I got it a little damp, and it is removing all of that extra foil or the ink from that foil. So look what a pretty background that is. Such a pretty design with that snow Frosty Flakes stencil from Missing Stamps, but that foil is still shiny and it's pretty. So I love it. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp some images using, of course, the penguin stamp set from Missing Stamps. This is called Ice Day. And I'm using some paper that I've recently found that's really nice and smooth, and it's great for Copic coloring. So I've been enjoying this lately as well. I'm going to stamp out all the penguins at once, and then I am going to color them all at once. I'll leave a little bit of the coloring in the video here just so you can see how fun penguins are to color and super easy. So that's why I stamped all of them at once, because you can really batch color these very quickly. I'm using a dark orange here for the beaks, and then I'll blend that out with a lighter orange, and then I'll use that same lighter orange on the feet, and then blend that out with an even lighter orange. So super fun. So you can see that this is pretty quick, and then I'm going to use some neutral grays for coloring the actual penguins. I like to use the darkest gray on the areas where I think there would be a little bit more shadow, and then blend those out with all the lighter neutral grays. So easy to do. Now I'm coming in with my N5, and I am speeding this up a little bit and skipping over it because it really is just the same thing over and over, just blending it out just a tiny bit more than the last time. The lightest color I think is N3 that I will use at the end here, and you'll see that how cute these little penguins are, and they have just a little bit of whimsy to them. They look like they're smiling, I think. Their little eyes make them look like they're smiling, which is so super cute and fun. So here's the last of the neutral grays on the penguins. You can, of course, use some white gel pen on there if you want to. And I also like to use some of those light yellows on their little tummies. Gives them a little more color, makes them look, I think, even happier. So I sometimes add a little yellow to their tummies. You don't have to do this, of course. You could also add some blues, and that would be really fun too, like light blue. So now let's put some of these cards together. I'm going to be inking up this frame that I used to cut out that inside piece. So I wanted to go ahead and use that frame. I'm using a couple different frame dies from Missing Stamps, and I will link everything below so you can take a look. But this one here, it fits perfectly on that rainbow foiled background that we did. And then I went ahead and stamped out the little snowbank, like the cliff, from that same Ice Day stamp set. Here's the, that's a look at the frame that I used there. I stamped this little ice snowy bank in a light gray ink, just to give it the idea that it's snow, but it's still white. And then I cut the edges so that it would fit right around the frame. So the snow is going to go over the frame, but the cliff part is going to fit right behind the frame. So I'm going to just trim those edges there so that that can go just like this. And I have a hot pink cardstock that goes behind that pink frame. And now I'm going to add a little bit of glitter, of course, to the snow. So I'm using some stickles here with my fingers to spread it out just a little bit. So I'll add a line of stickles to the top and then to the bottom and spread that with my finger. This is going to give it a glittery, snowy look, and you know I like my glitter. So that's going to be fun. It's difficult to see in the video, but it is really fun with that foil background. Now I'll add my penguins with some foam adhesive, and this is the sentiment I went ahead and white heat embossed, sliding by to say hi. It'll fit right inside that frame there. And this is just going to dry, and then we'll add it all to the card base. So there's our first card. The second card I used the same frame and the same inside cut piece with a little glitter paper behind that white frame, and the white goes with our snowflakes really well. Now I'm going to use this placement stencil so that I can place my letters from the Alpha die set. Let me see if I can find it here. That is one of my favorite sets. It is the Modern Typeset frame die. It's got this beautiful alphabet, and you can get this stencil to help you place certain words that are really popular. Today I'm making it spell happy, so I just placed my stencil there, and then I'm going to add the letters right through the stencil. I'll be able to remove that stencil later, but this is going to really help me place them and space them the right amount apart and put them all even, and then I can just peel away that stencil, and look how cute that is. Now I'll go ahead and add my penguins with some foam adhesive. And then we're going to just add this to the card base, and I'll add my sub-sentiment in just a minute as well. I did find another stamp set that had the word birthday in it, so I stamped out the birthday, and now I'm going to go ahead and glue that little sentiment right here. I just stamped it with black ink on white cardstock and cut that out. So there are our cards, and then of course I made a bonus card with the excess rainbow foil that we had left over, and I added some white foil to the inside. So here's our first two cards, and then the bonus card I made, of course I couldn't stand it. I had to make some penguins dancing on that table. That table is from the Tea Party Alice collection, and I added a few cupcakes as well, and it says, "Doing a happy dance for you." These were some fun cards to make, and you can see that the frame on the bonus card on the left is a little different than the frame I used on the first two. So that's a different set, and I will link that below. But look at our white foil on there. That's really fun. And it's also fun to use up your leftovers here, which is what I did. So thanks so much for stopping by today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back real soon with more card making inspiration. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.